We've lived through it. Remember where you were the day Luka Doncic debuted as a Los Angeles freaking Laker. That's right. They defeat the Jazz in his big debut, 132-113. He had 14. He was 5 of 14, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in the 24 minutes he played. Yes, he's on a bit of a restriction. He hadn't played since Christmas. LeBron with 24, 7, and 8. So, Lou, let's start with you. It's going to take, I mean, we thought Klay Thompson in a different uniform was going to take a minute. This is going to take a minute, but your first impressions.
I thought it was okay. I thought they played well together, considering the competition, considering this was a Utah Jazz team that's going to have their ups and downs. They didn't give them a lot of resistance on defense, so it looked like a lot of the things that the Lakers were doing were just drill work. They were easy to get to their sets, so it's hard for me to really judge how this team is going to move forward. Everything was just so easy for them, but just like I thought, LeBron was going to initiate a lot of the offense. Luka was going to play the 2, and then they were going to play some isolation basketball in the half court. As this team goes together, as more that they build their camaraderie, build their competitiveness together, I think this LA Lakers team, they get better and better. My only concern is still, I just don't think their roster is deep enough. Considering how other teams are built right now, the way that some of these teams are trending up, you're top heavy. You got LeBron James, who's 40 years old, that looks like your best player right now, as rejuvenated and energized that he's playing. He's your best player right now. You got Luka on minute restrictions, and then from there it's Austin Reeves, and just still trying to find who's going to be the guys that are going to contribute on a major scale after that. I still think they got some things to patch up that they should do in the field. After this trade deadline, that's going to make them better. Who's left out there on waivers and in free agency right now that's going to make this team better. But first things first, I thought that they were okay considering who they played last night.
Chandler, what'd you think? That gold, it's different.
It's going to take some time to get used to, right? It's crazy. It's here. He's officially a Laker. And listen, I think he hasn't played since Christmas, right? So even if he played last night on Dallas, that's a long time to be off. It's a long time to kind of shake the cobwebs, the rust off. You got to figure his jumper wasn't going to fall, and he struggled from 3-point line last night. But I thought he looked pretty good. I think he did a great job early, just kind of being a little passive, but also getting guys involved. His first play of the game, he basically had a little bunny layup in the lane and gave it to Hayes for an easy lob at the rim. And LeBron made it clear in warmups. He said, Luka, do not fit in, like be you. And I think just hearing that right before the game started, obviously it's got to be a boast of confidence. And defensively, I think they're going to have some issues. I think when they go to the small lineup, especially, they switched everything last night. And that's going to put Luka in situations where he's going to have to sit down and defend. And even last night, sometimes Jordan Clarkson, Collier, they would get downhill on him and get past him and kind of put them in a scramble situation. So I think offensively, look, they scored 72 points in the first half. And again, this is a small sample size against the Jazz. Offense is not going to be the problem with this team. This team's going to have to find rotations when they're small, when they're big. Are they going to switch everything all game long? Are we going to see some zone from this team to kind of protect Luka? It's going to be interesting to see what they do there. But I thought overall it was exciting. It was great. Shots didn't fall from him necessarily, but I thought he did a great job getting other guys involved, and he's going to be really, really good here, no doubt.
We're obviously going to start reading into everything, especially with everything going on in Dallas and everyone being angry. But Dirk was in attendance for this thing last night, Luka's first game. I think he's had a tweet out too, just to tell everybody to relax. Still always a Mav for life. But, could there be more? I can't imagine the players, Chandler, love the way this entire thing played out.
No, there's nothing more here. Dirk is not a subliminal type guy. Doing stuff with Amazon, which is in LA, so he probably had other stuff going on in Los Angeles. And look, Dirk was his big brother from the moment he came in. He was kind of that mentor figure. He's been there with him for 6 years, even post retirement. Dirk has always been affiliated in that organization. He's always going to be, whether that's Mark Cuban or Patrick Dumont running the team, whether that's Nico or not. Dirk is the face of that franchise forever and ever. And there's a statue out there to prove that. So I think this is just Dirk showing him love, maybe showing him some comfort, sitting with his father, not courtside, which is also the most Dirk thing of all time. I thought it was great. I thought this is just, like me and Lou always talking about, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with even like the Jimmy stuff, the Brad Beal stuff. There's relationships that you make in the locker room that are bigger than what's happening with the team and with the front office. So I thought it was great that he was there to support him. And again, this doesn't mean he doesn't care about the Mavs or he's a Laker fan now. He's just simply supporting. So there's definitely nothing like subliminal here. That is not the type of guy Dirk is.
I love the idea. Dirk's a Laker fan now, guys. That's it, Lou. We just watched it happen. No, I think it's cool because Luka even said he was like a little nervous and he doesn't remember the last time he was nervous before a game. Kind of nice to see a friendly face out there, right?
Yeah, that's a fact. And remember, this came as a surprise to everybody. You know, nobody was really prepared or expecting this to be the circumstances for Luka last week. And now that you're here and you're in a different uniform, you're in a different market, a different fan base that's used to rooting against you, and you have somebody that's familiar there. You know, you have your family there, and somebody who was somebody who's been a very positive influence on you. To have those people there to kind of give you that comfort, give you that blanket to land on when you kind of needed some comfort in your debut. I thought that was great to have Dirk there. But like I said, like Chandler just said, nothing subliminal there. We all know that Dirk is a man for life. This was in support of Luka and Luka only, not for the Los Angeles Lakers, for sure.
Yeah, let's not get crazy, people. There was a funny moment, by the way. Luka walks into his post-game presser. He's obviously been in big game moments. He's done global games. He's done finals. But he said, "Oh, beep, that's a lot of people." Chandler, look, it's also his first game. I would imagine it won't be crazy every single night. But he is in a brand new, large, perhaps the largest market when it comes to press coverage. So do you think it's going to take some adjusting? Is he ready for it?
Yeah, he's ready for it. This kid is, like you said, he's been playing in the Olympics and for his home team, his national team, and he's been playing on big stages. The guy played in the finals last year, so he's used to, all eyes on him. So again, LA is different. I think personally wise, it's going to take a little adjusting. The dude can't go and get a coffee without getting paparazzi'd and teams. And that type of stuff didn't happen in Dallas. So I think off the court, it's going to be some adjustment with his family and his friends. He can't just pull up to Craig's or Catch or Nobu or any of these restaurants without cameras in his face asking him, whether it's a good game or bad game or whatever's going on. He's definitely going to be now the face of the Lakers. He's going to be the face of Los Angeles in certain ways. So that part is definitely going to have some adjusting to do because he's just a kid from Europe that's in Dallas playing basketball and now in one of the biggest markets in the world media-wise. So definitely interesting, but he's going to have fun with it. He's going to embrace it. He's always handled the media and everybody with class, and he's always done a really good job with that. So I have no real concerns there. But also, what a setup for him. His first game is against the Jazz. His next game is against the Jazz. Then he gets a week off for All-Star Weekend. Then he comes back and plays the Hornets. So it's a perfect setup, perfect timing for him to kind of get his legs under him and kind of get his rhythm as a Laker.
It's like somebody knew this was going to happen. It's very interesting, Lou. I believe I'm going to start going conspiracy here. And you know why? Because I know marketing teams are constantly like, there's thinking, there's rooms, there's people doing stuff. But the Gatorade quickness with which they threw up this sign, this Hollywood electronic sign video, whatever, has the 2 L's replaced in the Luka jersey with the 77. Like, dude, Lou, that was quick and awesome.
That was fire, and all they had to do was turn the L's upside down and light them yellow, and now we have a $1 million marketing budget that probably cost us only a few bucks with AI and how these things work these days. But this is great to see. This is being embraced by the city. This is welcoming him with open arms, and we're excited to have you here. And what better place than the Showtime Lakers? This is a town that loves their superstars. You have one here that's going to be here for a number of years. So this was great to see for him to feel like he's welcomed and he's at home here.
I cannot believe we're about to do this, Chandler. And by the way, what was the one you sent us? Was it Nike? Was it Jumpman, right?
The Jumpman, the Jordan brand. Good luck, y'all. Almost like clowning text the way they talk. It's just business until it is like that. That really got me going. So listen, he is a mega star. He is a A-list celebrity. If he wasn't then, now he is definitely going to be living in LA. Oof. So I love all his endorsements, all his, he's a brand ambassador for a lot of these big time companies. I love this. This was a huge deal. This was national, worldwide news. Let's support him. Let's run with it. Let's make this even bigger. And so I love the Hollywood sign. I love the Jordan campaign. I think it's just part of making him move. And like Lou said, it's just making him comfortable, making him feel loved, making him feel wanted here as soon as he got here.
It feels like a movie, honestly. Like we talk so much about small market versus big market. Does it really matter? Is there a big difference? And then in the course of 48 hours, you just really see sort of the machine that is the Los Angeles Lakers. Like he's, as much as I hate to admit, man, he's on a different level now, and it's going to be that way for a while. We are getting reports, however, Dave McMenamin with the report that it was not lost on LeBron's camp that the Lakers prioritized Luka's involvement in trade talks, where LeBron had wanted the Lakers for years to trade for picks or players, just anything really to improve the roster. This was quick. Chandler, what'd you make of these reports? Here we go.
I don't look into this much. LeBron James is great as he is, as great as he has been. He's 40 years old and he's not the future of the Lakers. So I don't understand this frustration. I don't know if these reports are even real, but again, this goes back to if you can do anything to get your hands on a Luka Doncic, anything to get your hands on a Wimby, a Jokic, a SGA, any of these type of players, you do it. These guys are going to be around for the next 7 to 12 years at an unbelievable pace and production level. You have to do this as an organization. You have to do this as a front office. So it's hard for me to imagine that LeBron is frustrated by this, because the addition of Luka also made their team a lot better. It made them a lot more relevant. We are talking about the Lakers more than ever. So I think LeBron understands, listen, he can be 1A some nights, he can be 1B certain nights. At this point of his career, this should not bother him. If it does, it's a little strange, because this could prolong his career. This could make them into a contender this year by adding Luka. So if anything, I think the opposite. I would be so stoked that my front office in my last year or two is doing everything they can to maximize my career.
Listen, and I'm calling cap on this report. Did y'all see LeBron James last night? He was ecstatic.
Pretty excited.
Listen, down to the point, he puts on the stock T-shirt that they were giving out of the Lakers 77s. He warmed up in this T-shirt. Starting lineups. Usually his name is called last. He jumped up, the second to last guy. Luka Doncic went last. This is a full-on embrace. I'm excited for this guy to be here. So I'm calling cap on this report that he's upset in any way. Like, he looks like a kid in a candy store. We just talked about him being re-energized and playing at a different level now that Luka is a part of this team. Like, and we watched him last night. He was the best player on the floor by far on both teams. No matter who put a uniform on, LeBron James played with the most energy. He was talkative. He was the leader. He did all of these things that you would want to see your 40-year-old superstar do. So for everything that's going Luka's way, that is your future. Why wouldn't you want to embrace that? Why wouldn't you want to show him the ropes? Look, this is how this goes around here. When I step away, these are your keys to the car. You got it. So everything that I saw, I didn't see not one negative thing coming from the Los Angeles Lakers, especially LeBron James. So to have this report come out, I don't know. I got my views about it, but I'm calling cap.
And Lou, even since this trade happened, and LeBron always plays hard. He's all year long. He's been diving on the floor, taking charges. Since this trade's happened, the dude has been playing with a different burst, a different type of energy. He's flying around on defense. He's diving on the floor. He's so energetic on the bench, supporting every. So like he could have took this trade as a negative and like not pouting. I don't think he's going to do this, LeBron James, but he could have went the other way. He's even more energized now, even more confident, playing even harder than I think I've ever seen him play right now. So he was even a little passive early. He waited. It was kind of a, you go, I go early on in the game last night. He was a little sloppy with the ball at times too, trying to get Luka the ball, trying to throw it ahead. I think he had 7 turnovers or something last night, but this dude doesn't look like a guy that's frustrated. He doesn't look like a guy that's upset with the front office. He looks like a guy that's stoked that has a 25-year-old stud to play with however longer he can go. So I think it's the exact opposite. I think he's so happy and a whole nother breath of fresh air and just a whole nother void of confidence just to have Luka there with him.
In fairness to LeBron as well in this report, and it's serious if I'm saying that. We all noticed it. Like, wasn't the joke, oh my God, AD gets traded and then they go and get a center? Granted, that's been rescinded, and I know they're fighting that on the Charlotte end now, but we all sort of were like, that's interesting. So it's, yeah, noted. We all noticed it. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. They got to think of the future. So